This particular image right here has been making its rounds on social media for the last few hours because I believe it was just posted today. I believe, of course, Colin Kaepernick was the first to put it out on his page, and then it just spread like wildfire. Like I don't think I didn't see almost any person that I was following on Instagram that did not post this in their story somewhere. I'm not saying that every single person did, but there were quite a few people that did. And I wanted to speak on it a little bit. Now, the last time we talked about Nike was that incident that happened, and let me correct myself with that particular video, was with the executive of Nike husband making that racist rant calling black people or South Africans kafirs. He was not in South Africa when he did this. He was actually in Greece when he did this. So he was on another continent somewhere when he made that statement. He wasn't anywhere near the continent of Africa when he did it, when he said it. But that was still a cowardice move on his part and a very racist one at the same time. And his wife owns or is an executive of a Nike store in that area. But that was the last time I talked about Nike. Now here we are talking about Nike again, but this time for something very good and interesting that literally caught everyone by surprise. So apparently Nike has been in works with Colin Kaepernick for a few years now, back when he was active in the NFL. And apparently they still have a partnership with him. So he's been working with Nike and Nike's been working with him all this time. And now they have made him the face of their Just Do It campaign. And this is the picture that went out. It says, believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything, just do it. Perfect slogan, and I'm almost certain that that Colin was the one that probably came up with the slogan, and it represents him well. This guy literally did sacrifice everything to back his belief system despite all the odds that were placed against him, and it seems like a lot of stuff is working in this guy's favor. I mean, the last time we talked about him was when I said he is going to the next phase in this collusion case. Like everything is literally working in his favor right now, and it's actually a rarity. Like he's definitely what I would say an exception to the rule, because when's the last time you saw a black person get this far after being kicked down so much against the establishment? And at this point, they are like literally shaking and quaking in their boots right now. And I'm loving what I'm about to talk about next. So when it came out that Nike had made him the face of their Just Do It campaign, of course, the invaders got upset. They got their Nikes in a bunch, literally gathered them up in a bunch, and started to destroy them. One of them, which was the most viral one that I saw, was some person burning their Nike shoes. And then I saw one on Instagram where somebody had some Nike socks. And they actually, Nike, they're always going to have their swoosh logo on there. Somebody actually cut the swoosh off of the socks. First off, now you made the socks look ugly and tacky and cheap. But here's the thing. For a group of people who have a so-called high IQ, their low IQ numbers are extremely high. And by that, I mean, why would you destroy something that you already paid for? Nike already has your money. It doesn't matter what you do. Once you went to that register, or if you ordered online and you swipe that card or handed over that cash, that stuff is yours and the money belongs to Nike. Now they're saying they want to boycott Nike because of Colin Kaepernick. I hope they realize that a lot of this stuff is just falling and tumbling down around them. Because what I'm noticing that is everything that is attached to Colin Kaepernick, they're going to boycott. But what it's going to do is a rather interesting marketing strategy, because what they're going to do is they're probably going to gain a lot more black supporters, or people who support Colin Kaepernick who are not black. So it's like, as a matter of fact, hold on, it was a tweet that I saw. It was a particular tweet that I saw, and I'm going to read it to you right quick if I can find it, because it was very interesting how this person broke it all the way down. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, I found this. We had to pause it right quick because I didn't want y'all just listening to dead air. Someone said Nike made Cap the face of their campaign. The face of Under Armour told the President of the United States he's not visiting the White House. Puma made Jay-Z, who supports Cap, brand ambassador. Adidas has rappers on the payroll who supports Cap message. What are you going to wear, white people? So basically, it's like there is like a lot of black people who are in, I guess you can say, celebrity status are now attaching themselves to a lot of athletic brands. And basically, they're kind of piggybacking off of Cap. And what that's going to do is it's going to push out a lot of the naysayers and bring a lot of people who are worthy to push this brand in. It almost reminds me of like a lot of the things they did back in the 90s, even though that racist Tommy Hilfiger, I have to use it as an example, used a lot of R&B and hip hop artists to push his brand after them comments that he made. But then, if we can push Tommy Hilfiger to the side, that's when you have FUBU, For Us By Us, a black-owned brand, and that was pushed heavily back then. I wish it could have stuck around and really took off, especially since that was us. Now, to the people in the comments, don't sit there and try to pretend like some of y'all didn't have a FUBU product or at least one FUBU piece of apparel. Let's just be real here. But what also struck me, and this was something that was sent to me by one of my subscribers, and I'm gonna pause the video right quick so I can pull the image up. Well, you know what, let me just pull it up and you can see what I mean. If y'all don't know who this man is, this is Pat Tillman. He used to play football professionally before he went into the military. Now, if you watch the ESPYs Awards, which celebrates a year in athletics, he has an award named after him. It's called the Pat Tillman Award for Courage. I think it's called I forget what it's called, but it's an award named after him. Maybe I think it's the Arthur Ashe Award. That's the Courage one, but Pat Tillman definitely has one. Anyway, he was killed in the military, and they ended up making an award named after him. And what I did learn was that he actually died in what was called friendly fire, and the government covered it up. Of course, you didn't hear that from me. I'm just the messenger. But the reason why I'm bringing Pat Tillman's picture up in this story is because someone had tagged me in a post where you have the invader trying to bring Pat Tillman and his memory and their family into the equation of why Colin Kaepernick should not be supported because he's in the military, because he was a military personnel. Two things. One, based on my research that I have done, Pat Tillman would have been 1,000% in support of Colin Kaepernick because, believe it or not, Pat Tillman has saw some things in the military that he wished he hadn't, and he wanted to get out, and I think that's probably why he was killed. Someone tells me he probably knew too much, and he was about to reveal something, and they had to get rid of him. And number two, if y'all remember, when Colin Kaepernick started out doing this protest, he was sitting down. He wasn't kneeling. It wasn't until a military personnel came up to him and said he likes what he's doing and he understands his message, but can you, on the behalf of the military, can you change your stance up a little bit? And Colin was like, well, I don't know, because that might change some things up, and it's going to go against my beliefs. Okay, he's basically like saying, well, what if we can combine it? What if you can still believe in your core beliefs, but you can change up how you're doing it? And then that's when the military personnel said, okay, why don't you kneel during the anthem? And then that's when Colin Kaepernick compromised and he decided to kneel for the rest of the season. Even him just kneeling made them mad. And that was, like I said, a military personnel that suggested he do that. Notice that none of these fake patriots, as I like to call them, ever bring that up. And since they like to play the race card so much, yes, it was a white male military personnel that suggested Cap do that. I remember it specifically. I did a video about it last year when it first happened. But they don't want to hear that because they feel like all of this is Colin Kaepernick's fault. But see, it's all tumbling around, it's all falling around them, and they can't handle it. And this is all from one guy. So they can go right on ahead and boycott Nike all they want. Nike is a $1 billion worldwide company. And I'm sure it's probably publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. So they are not worried. And I hate to say it, but as long as them Jordans continue to sell, Nike will not be hurting. So what's going to end up happening is a lot of people are going to end up jumping on this Colin Kaepernick gravy train. And some of the people that probably was naysaying things about him last year or the last 2 years are now on his side because they see because literally I think Colin is leaving a money trail. He is leaving a paper trail, and everyone's going to want a piece of the pie. After all, it's the American way. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be down below for the merch, and I will talk to you in the next one.